So I just recently made a video about confirmation bias. And when I was doing research about confirmation bias, I was trying to dig more deeper into some practical real life examples. And while trying to figure that out, I realized that there is a connection between the law of attraction, or the law of assumption that everybody has been talking about these days, and confirmation bias. So I kind of wanted to dig more deeper into that, and oh boy, deep I digged. So let's talk about it. So for those of you who don't know what confirmation bias is, I would definitely recommend you checking out my video. I would link it somewhere here, I don't know. But I will give you like a little bit of a quick definition of what confirmation bias is. Basically, it is a type of bias in which we have the tendency to seek out information that would confirm our pre-existing beliefs instead of looking out information that would challenge the same beliefs. So in other words, we're basically looking for evidence to support our claims instead of looking for evidence that would make us deny our claims. So basically, I realized all those law of attraction, law of assumption teaching that everybody talks about can't actually be explained through confirmation bias. Let's just talk about synchronicities for a second. I've been trying to pronounce that for 15 minutes. I still don't know if I did it right. So whatever, I'm just gonna butcher it. Let's talk about that for a second. Now, in the spiritual community, synchronicities actually have a very deep meaning to people who believe in them. A lot of people believe that the universe or their spirit team are trying to guide them on their journey through them. Now, I'm not here to tell you that it is right or it is wrong, because most of the spiritual things you cannot really explain in a practical, objective way. Like, you can't really test out synchronicities, right? So at the end of the day, it's your personal experience. I am just merely taking this topic from psychology to philosophy and just trying to understand it and maybe use it to my advantage. Let's say there is someone who has a very personal meaning attached to the number 222. In the past, every time they've seen number 222, good things have happened to them, right? Now, whenever they see the number 222 continuously for a significant amount of time, they automatically start thinking that there is some good news that's coming their way. And in the next few days, if anything good that happens, they're gonna attribute it to that number, when normally you wouldn't even care, you know? So basically that person was already looking to confirm that there is good news coming and that the number 222 really has a message for them. So even if they did receive a bad news, they would just disregard it because of confirmation bias. This is just a theory, so don't come at me. Honestly, the more I think about it, or should I say overthink about it, the more it makes sense to me. You know how they say you see what you believe in? That is literally confirmation bias. So if you believe that there is abundance in the world, you are going to try to confirm to yourself that abundance by looking for more evidence of that abundance in the world. And same thing goes for lack, when in reality, both exist. There is lack and abundance in the world. There is no right or wrong here. And also, the deeper I dig, it kind of makes sense that if you initially have been living in lack your whole life, your brain is going to automatically just look for more lack to confirm to you what it already knows, instead of, you know, like looking for the possibility of getting out of that lack because of the cognitive dissonance that it creates. It kind of makes sense. Let's just roll a little bit more deeper into that. Let's say while growing up, you only saw lack, a lack of friendship, a lack of love, or a lack of money. It doesn't even have to be growing up. It could just be that that event or that experience has taken a biggest chunk of your life, or at least you have given it a significant amount of validation. Now your brain has started to see lack as your reality, which kind of is. It is a fact. Your past is a fact. It is a part of your story, but it does not mean that the future has to be the same as well. But now your mind believes that there is evident lack in the world. And technically, if you think about it, that there is. People are living in some sort of lack here and there. Of course, they're not bound by it or bound to it, but they continue to live in it. Now, why it is that the mind finds it so hard to step out of that lack mindset, why doesn't it just try to confirm abundance to itself? Or why doesn't it try to take the abundance that is there for it to access, right? Because let's just be honest, there is a lot of evidence of abundance in the world as well. Evidently. Enters confirmation bias. Your mind or your ego has attached itself to living and surviving in lack. There is a sense of identity there. The ego's job is to protect that identity. So now it is looking for ways to confirm back to you what it already knows, which is lack, instead of looking for evidence that would actually challenge it, which is abundance. So now it is looking for evidence to confirm what it already identifies with, and everything that contradicts it goes into the I don't give a shit bucket. Because everything that challenges its beliefs creates a cognitive dissonance, which is the discomfort that we feel when we're holding to contradictory beliefs, or when our actions are not aligning with our beliefs. So in order to avoid the discomfort of living in abundance or looking for abundance, it just kind of reflects lack back to you. As a result, it will create scenarios like only rich become more richer, and would look for evidence to show that only people who got way more richer were people who already had rich parents. So you are going to have a hard time digesting the fact that there were people who were born and raised in poverty but ended up being millionaires. You are just going to see those people as just few and far between, or simply just outliers. You're less likely to challenge yourself to be that outlier because it kind of protects your self-esteem by being right. So sometimes, even when we're trying to get out of that lack mindset, we will self-sabotage or blame the system, or again, hold the argument that the rich people are the only ones who get richer. The brain is confirming to you what it already believes in and downplaying everything that contradicts it. Now, what do you even do with this information? Now that you know this is confirmation bias doing its tricks, all you have to do is challenge your own bias. So if you're trying to step into a new reality, a reality that is very different from the one that you're currently living in, you need to make sure that you are looking at things that confirm to you the new reality, not the one that you're currently living in, not the one that you are already so familiar with, not the one that is true to you. What? That was a lot of words. Geez. Kids, let's not just look at evidence that would confirm to you what you already know, because the first thing the brain is going to try to do when you try to challenge it, it's going to look for evidence that's going to show you what you already know because of confirmation bias. Let's not do that. So if you really want to be unbiased and make a practical sort of move, the first thing you need to do is acknowledge that you are biased by your own experience. Whatever reality that you are trying to identify with is not the only truth. You know, there are infinite ways of getting what you want if you just stop being stubborn. Step 2 is look at the world. Honestly, look at it. Get out of your body. Take off the blinders. Get out of your ego is what I mean. Your experiences, your emotions, your feelings, everything that has happened to you, it's all valid. But so is the total opposite of it. Your dreams and goals, if you still have them, they are also valid. Now it is all up to you to decide, what are you going to validate more? The story of the past or the possibility of the future? And while you're at it, just know that nothing ever happens in the future or the past. Everything just always happens in the present. Step 3, use confirmation bias to your own advantage. For the next week or month or whatever, just look for all the possibilities, not the only one that your mind is attached to, not the only one that you've lived through. Stop your obsession with your past sob story. Tragic. Step 4, a nihilistic slap on your face, possibly to wake you up, or maybe to send you in an even more deeper spiral. Consider yourself warned. Nothing at the end of the day really matters. The sun will still shine. The moon will still go through its phases. The trees will still shed their leaves, and the earth will still turn. What are you going to do about it? You're either going to make the best of it or the worst of it. The universe doesn't care. It is very neutral. It will happily confirm whatever you believe in, whatever you accept. So what are you going to accept? And what are you going to confirm to yourself? So that's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and you probably got something out of it. Sorry if I was a little bit scattered all over the place in this video. I was, for the most part, thinking out loud. This was a very spontaneous video that I tried to make, and I kind of just wanted to put it out there. So if you still enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe, and please do give me ideas for any future videos you'd like me to talk about. And yes, I hope I see you in my next one. Thank you. Bye.